Hi, my name's Mary.
And I'm Eli, and we're part of Monolators and Cobra Lilies. Yeah, this is Ivan. He's our son.
Hi there, I'm Mike Forts, and welcome back to Parlour to Parlour. Last week we got a glimpse of Eli and Mary Chartkoffs' party folk band, Cobra Lilies. This week we'll take a look at their rock and roll outfit, the Monolators, and they are truly a real live garage band, as we'll see in just a bit. But before we go there, let's have a look at the Monolators in action. At a live show they performed at the American Legion Hall in LA's Highland Park neighborhood the night before we taped our interview. Pretty intense, huh?
I would say that last night was actually kind of low energy just because we were so tired.
Yeah.
And by the end, I thought I was going to fall over. I was like, I can't do another song. But
It was just like, because we just had like
It's been a long
day
long
with
day.
a lot of,
Yeah.
driving all the way to the west side, setting up, then playing the Cobra Lilies show,
loading the van,
loading the
unloading
van,
the van.
then unloading the van, then
Yeah.
putting it all together.
Yeah.
Then, so it'd been just, a
Yeah.
long day, so.
Actually, from what I remember, this was maybe a notch up in energy from the first time I saw the Monolators earlier this year in San Francisco on what they were calling the Walking Wounded Tour.
We had a lot of people who were injured for that show. Ashley, our bass player, had broken her ankle. And then Jalinda, our keyboard player, had pretty severely burned her hand cooking, like about 2 days before we left, and so her hand was all, she had like the mummy hand. It was really gross looking, and it was all bandaged up, and she could barely play. And we thought, well, okay, we'll do that. Why not?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So yeah. And I'm always I'm super accident prone. So we were
understood that.
Yeah, so we were a little concerned that I was going to hurt myself somehow.
Me too. And I'm like the klutziest klutz. So.
Yeah. I've gotten a concussion at one of our shows, cut myself open a couple of times.
Yeah.
So, but I managed to emerge from that unscathed,
Yes.
so that was good.
Yeah.
At the end of the Monolators set at that first show I attended, their bass player, Ashley Jex, handed me a little red card entitling me to a free download of the band's latest EP, Ruby, I'm Changing My Number. It's one of several different ways the band is distributing its music, though they're still working on finding the most effective ways to do it, and dealing with pirates just like everybody else.
Basically, we have them as like free downloads at our shows, and we did posters as a kind of the money-making one, but we did posters with the downloads, so like that was like our money-making way for the Ruby. And I don't know if it's just like nobody wants to buy a poster that like you can walk around with this 11 by
Yeah, we thought this was going to be like a
17.
brilliant thing. Like, you buy the poster, so you're paying money for the poster, and then you get the free download card with it. So we're still giving away the record, but then they're buying something that was handmade, but nobody bought the poster.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Only a few people. Yeah, so I don't know, and I don't know if it's because also there's people that make silkscreen posters and just hand out the posters.
Yeah, that could
too.
be. When we
and maybe that so people don't want to buy posters or downloads. I don't know. So we're trying to figure that out. In fact, we're probably gonna start just pressing up some CDs for Ruby, and it's weird because some people will go ahead and just buy a CD, even though they're gonna end up taking it and ripping it to their iPod anyways, and then throwing away the CD. But like they'll still like buy the CD just so that they can listen to it on the way home or whatnot.
Yeah.
So
when we put out our last LP, the full length, which is the Don't Dance record, about 2 weeks before the release date, I noticed that it got, and I don't even know where they got the files because we hadn't put it out on iTunes and it hadn't, or anything like that. It hadn't been released, but about 2 weeks before the release date, it showed up pirated on about like 20 blogs, which was awesome because I didn't know that there were enough people that cared to put it up on
pirate it.
that many blogs. So I was like, yes. And on the other hand, I thought no, because that I have no way of knowing how many people actually downloaded. But I think we sort of feel like if that's just the way it is.
Yeah, we're not gonna fight that.
We're not gonna. You can't fight that. So you might as well just let people want it for free. They can have it for free.
And if they're willing to go to that much trouble.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's maybe not that much trouble, but still, it's like they actually cared to. Yeah. I don't know.
If people just want it, they can have it.
Yeah.
And then if they want to give us some money, they can. If they feel like they want to give us some money to support us, we'll take that too, and they could buy like a vinyl record, or they can buy a CD, or they can, they can buy a T-shirt, or they can pay for a download. That's great too.
Oh yeah, they could go to iTunes and download it. They just go to iTunes and download it and pay for it legitimately.
Right. So yeah, I just think that's the way it's going to be from now on, pretty much.
When not making music, Eli and Mary are making album art and t-shirts, not just for themselves, but for other artists in their community. Let's have a look at their screen printing setup, and then we'll move on to the practice space to beat all practice spaces, the garage.
So this is the silk screening press, which is actually, all of our equipment is actually borrowed from other people and bands. The press itself actually is borrowed from the Mormons. And
they're
a local punk band. And our heater is borrowed from our friend Jerry, and we owe them a great deal and the LA music community owes them a great deal for letting everyone borrow this stuff. My main role in this is I instruct the people that come over who do t-shirts and maybe record sleeves or whatnot, how to screen print.
So we had a custom rubber stamp made, which turned out to be a mistake because making these Cobra Lilies records has turned out to be incredibly time consuming and super labor intensive. So we're in order to silk screen, it's a one-sided record, and so it's blank vinyl on one side. So in order to be able to silk screen onto it, you can't just put ink right onto blank vinyl because it won't stick or it'll smudge. So we have to put primer on it. We have to primer it by hand.
This is just a test.
This is just a test one because the records are actually white rather than black. But yeah, we have to put primer on it. Then you can print on it, and then you have to spray it down with a fixative because otherwise the ink will just
so it's kind of
rub off. And then the other side stamping by hand. And it's just it takes forever. So I thought at first when we got this idea, I thought we should make a whole bunch of one-sided records and screen print on them. And now I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
This will be our one
and only
great work of art for screen printing is these records.
Yeah.
We have these are just some there's some t-shirts that we've been when bands have been over. Wait Think Fast was over a few weeks ago doing some t-shirts, and I just have some random t-shirts around that we use for testing out the prints. Avi Buffalo was just over, and we were doing a nice little blend here, which is cool. Those are really fun. This is our practice space.
This is
where
it's a sort of a multi-use storage space and practice space, and also when it's raining out, we'll dry t-shirts in here as well, and we were drying our records in here too because we didn't want the sun shining down on the vinyl and warping it, so we had newspaper spread out all here on the records, all sitting on there. But yeah, we mostly use this for practicing, and we record in here as well sometimes.
Real live garage band.
Yes, we are an honest to God garage band. And we were actually, I think one of the reasons that we were attracted to this place in the first place because the garage had clearly been knocked down and then a much bigger one built, and that's helped us a lot.
Well, it's official. The Monolators are a real garage band, and a fun one at that. We've got some footage of Eli and Mary playing Our Tears Have Wings in the garage, so be sure to check that out. Thanks for hanging with us, and I'll see you next week when we return to Seattle to sleep more, take more drugs, and do whatever we want. Enjoy.